Hi, I'm Faith Fletcher, Spirit Energy's Director of Reward Systems and Policy. Welcome to our explanation of the Gender Pay Gap report for Spirit Energy. We think it's important that everybody understands what the gender pay gap is, what it isn't, and what we're doing at Spirit Energy to close our gap. First, let's talk about gender pay and equal pay. They're not the same thing, but they often get confused. At Spirit Energy, we take gender equality seriously. We have rigorous checks and processes in place to ensure that men and women are paid equally for the same roles. Gender pay, on the other hand, is the difference between the average pay of men and women across the business, regardless of their job type. At Spirit Energy, our gender pay gap is caused by the uneven distribution of men and women across the business and the types of roles that they do. There is a gender imbalance across our highest paying roles. For example, we have more men than women in our most senior positions. We also have more men than women in our specialist STEM-related roles, which often attracts a higher level of compensation, and in our offshore positions, which attract a premium. The gap is compounded by a greater number of women in part-time roles. These are the key drivers behind our gender pay gap. Let's take a look at the figures that we're required to publish. There's a range of them, including information on pay quartiles, gender pay gap, and bonus gap. Let's start with pay quartiles. If we line up all Spirit Energy's UK employees from the lowest paid to the highest paid and divide them into 4 equal groups, those groups are our 4 pay quartiles. We are required to report on the percentage of men and women in each quartile, and our pay quartiles look like this. As you can see, and as I mentioned earlier, we have proportionately more men than women in our upper pay quartiles. Now, let's look at how the gender pay gap is calculated. We look at both ordinary and bonus pay. For the gender pay gap itself, we have to report 2 measures, the median pay gap and the mean pay gap. For the median pay gap, we line up all of the men and all of the women from the lowest to the highest paid and select the middle point. This shows us the difference between them. On the other hand, the mean pay gap shows us the difference between the average pay for all men and all women. For the bonus gap, we also have to provide the median and the mean figures, as well as the percentage of men and women who receive a bonus. These are the figures for Spirit Energy in the UK. So, what are we doing about it?
What are we doing about it?
What are we doing about it?
We know there are a number of factors influencing our gender pay gap.
And we continue to look for meaningful ways
To help bring a better gender balance to our workforce.
We believe that change starts with understanding.
So unconscious bias training is available across Spirit Energy.
And is essential for our leaders and for anyone hiring new people to attend.
Research tells us that giving everyone a rating in their annual performance reviews
Can sometimes benefit certain groups over others.
So we got rid of them.
We got rid of them.
We got rid of them.
In 2018, we set up a dedicated diversity and inclusion function.
and started a talent pipeline to engage with women.
And attract them to technical roles in Spirit Energy.
We'll be building on that work in 2019, as well as prioritising succession planning for our most important roles.
and offering training and development for Spirit Energy's future leaders.
With advances in technology allowing for greater mobility for our people,
We offer flexible working, recognising that our employees have different needs.
Both in and outside the workplace.
we have also invested in growing the network.
Our employee-led organisation, which focuses on diversity and inclusion in all its forms.
That's what we're doing for our teams today.
For the great people joining Spirit Energy in future,
We are reassessing our job adverts and job descriptions.
To make sure we use neutral language, which tells everyone that Spirit Energy
It's the kind of place they are all welcome. And when we interview, we make sure we have a diverse group of candidates.
Interviewed by a diverse panel.
longer term, the oil and gas industry as a whole needs to improve its gender representation.
One of the things that we can do to change the current status quo
is to inspire the next generation to consider a career in the energy sector.
We love working with schools close to our operations.
and offering engineering internships for university students.
We work with the STEMettes, helping to inspire and support female students.
into science, technology, engineering and maths careers.
As well as providing work experience and mentoring to young people through the UK charity Career Ready.
We also have a linked school under the Developing the Young Workforce Scheme.
And engage with them across a number of activities.
Not all of these programs will have an immediate impact on our gender pay gap.
They aim to help us achieve a better gender balance
Across all levels of our organisation.
And as our gender balance improves,
Our gender pay gap will close.
So yes, Spirit Energy has a gender pay gap, and now we know what it is, and we know why. We remain committed to addressing the long-term structural issues in our industry, important in making a sustainable change, whilst continuing our focus on attracting, retaining and developing the best workforce.